Hi, this is Sam here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 11th of July. Starting off with the S&P, which is fast approaching, or had been fast approaching, the top of that triangle there, now heading towards 6,400. Looking for that perhaps as soon as the end of this month, even though we know that overnight we've had a tariff slip up, but at least while we're above recent support around 62.20, looking for as much as 6,400 by the end of this month, or if you want to stretch it out a bit to the end of next month. Unfilled gap to the upside through resistance, and we haven't really looked back since that end of June maneuver. Moving on to the Nasdaq, where we're keeping the same target there because we don't want to jinx the upside, but 23,000 is where we're looking for this market to go by the end of this month. In fact, 23,100, that line keeps creeping up. And certainly looking for that while we're above recent support around 22,600. Worst case is that we're going to head down to the old November resistance around 22,200, but that seems not too likely at the moment. On to a stock which has become something of an old favourite, Artelo Biosciences, and here the shares seem to be managed to bounce in all the right places, basically 18, 19, $20. We were looking for a retest of the best levels of late towards 25.60, above 25.60, looking for a move to that April resistance line projection, the red one, heading as high as $36 by the end of this month, but that's why we're above $25.60. Next up, we've got Cel-Sci Corporation, which is trying to regroup after all the painful moves on the left-hand side of the chart. We're in a falling trend channel here, but managed to gap up after the gap down there back in May, so it's a bear trap island reversal. Obviously looking for the initial target here to be the 50-day line at $4.07, but ideally we have at least the $5.60 area, the old April support for this particular stock. A reappearance for the next company, which is Ebang, and here rising trend channel base, basically double bottoming around $3.20, soaring through the 50-day moving average, and at least while we're above recent resistance on the way down around $4.40, looking for the top of that channel there as high as $6.80 by the end of this month. A big winner of the recent past has turned into a rather bigger loser in the recent past, and that's been Liminatus. Obviously, we had our targets there, and they were actually hit in the end, but the rug has been well and truly pulled, so looking for support to remain in around the $5 area. Above that, the initial target here would be the 50-day line, up to $10.50. Another stock which has had a few repeats here has been Lixte Biotechnology, and here you can see why. Beautiful V-shaped bull flag, as I call them, $5 the minimum on the upside here at the moment, especially while we're above the old resistance on the way down at $3.55. Moving on to MP Materials, and here we've gapped through resistance and top of the channel there, $58. Obviously, we're hoping that the support will come in on the right side of $40 ahead of a move up to the upper 50s there, maybe by the end of this month. Next on the list is Ming Teng, and here we actually hit our target at the top of that rising trend channel at $20. Looking for a retest of that. Obviously, yesterday's high around $22.35, so looking for a retest of that, especially while we're above the recent resistance on the way down around $15.80. One of the best movers of the recent past has been Newegg, and here we've got this. The shares hitting various targets. The third target has been cleared at $23. Next and perhaps final near-term target as high as $41, which is a resistance line projection from the early part of 2024, and looking for that as soon as the end of this month. Niocorp is next, and here we've got a wide rising trend channel, the top of the channel there, heading up to the $5.60 mark. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the 50-day moving average at $2.51, which should be achievable. Strange sounding company, Q32 Bio next, and here, obviously, the left-hand side of the chart, obviously not really looking very pretty, but we have a rising trend channel base here, top of the channel there, $4, just shy of $4.60. And we're looking for that while we're above resistance on the way down at $2.60 back in February. The last two are next. The first one is Rimini Street, and here, second unfilled gap to the upside in the recent past. Top of the channel there, heading for $6.90. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the old resistance around $4.20. Ideally, there's no end of day close back below yesterday's floor at $4.55. Toro is the last stock on the list, and here we've got a situation where we've also gapped up within a rising trend channel. 50-day line also rising sharply. Top of the channel here as high as $3.90. We're looking for that by the end of this month, while we remain above resistance on the way down towards $2.50. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.